What happens when a bunch of Brobraham Lincolns circle around a price inflated 5 pound protein powder container and start making sports and active nutrition industry predictions? Well, this is basically the personification of that imaginary scenario. So, what outlandish events could I see happening in the sports and active nutrition industry in 2022? Just like my other annual trend prediction lists, my one only kind of big rule is that I don't allow carryover predictions from previous years. Additionally, since these are outlandish predictions, I try and make Happy Gilmore level swings.
Here is the most beautiful swing in the modern era, I believe.
That makes it more entertaining for both myself to compile this list and you guys to consume it. Plus, if I get any of these correct, it makes for great call out clips. But if you're new to this content, I'll leave the links to the 2019, 2020, and 2021 Outlandish Sports and Active Nutrition Industry event prediction content pieces in this content's description. Also, one disclaimer because I don't want to get any federal agency calling or emailing me. Despite getting lucky on a few of these outlandish predictions throughout the previous few years, I don't have any insider information on any of these mentioned predictions, and this list is being thrown together for entertainment purposes only. Before we get started, I did want to thank the sponsor of this content, Ghost Lifestyle. I've been a huge supporter of this sports and active nutrition brand since they initially launched in 2016, and they've won my ultra coveted sports nutrition brand of the year the last 4 years. Personal favorites in terms of products of mine are the Sour Patch Kids Blue Raspberry Ghost Energy Drinks, the Chips Ahoy Ghost Whey, and then their Bubblicious Ghost Gamer. You can grab yours at ghostlifestyle.com or through fine retailers like GNC and the Vitamin Shop. Well, I've delayed this long enough. Let's jump into this year's list in no particular order. Here are my outlandish event predictions for the sports and active nutrition industry in 2022. So the first one is going to be Goli Nutrition gets acquired. Can you believe that Goli Nutrition, a company founded in 2019, already does well north of $500 million in annualized revenue? To further blow your mind, it does this with only a handful of SKUs. The company has engaged Centerview Partners in late 2020, I believe, to explore a sale of its business. Now, the initial process has drawn the attention from private equity firms, large strategics, and SPAC issuers that are trying to deploy a bunch of capital. Now, why hasn't anyone pounced on this yet? Pretty simple, I think, here is that revenue base plus the huge growth rate plus the COVID 19 effect aided, plus maybe competitive pressure, plus unlikelihood of margin expansion creates this kind of scary investment proposition. Now, I don't personally believe Goli Nutrition is some type of fad and gummy vitamins are only rising in consumer interest. The company also has, I think, a ton of product development runway left. Now, if Goli Nutrition does end up getting acquired, I think it's going to be in the latter part of 2022. Now, the second prediction is going to be that Ghost Energy outsells its supplements. Now, Ghost Lifestyle was founded in 2016 and it sells a variety of sports and active nutrition products like Legend Pre-Workout, Ghost Whey, and Ghost Gamer. Now, Ghost Lifestyle is arguably the most successful brand that has launched in the space in the last 5 to 7 years. Ghost Lifestyle currently sells over $100 million in those sports and active nutrition supplements. On the other hand, Ghost Energy launched as a joint venture with Anheuser-Busch InBev in late 2020 and sells energy drinks. Now, unless you are a big co brand that's launching some type of an extension, reaching more than $100 million in revenue in year two is unprecedented in today's market. Despite the more than 4 year head start by Ghost Lifestyle, I predict that Ghost Energy will outsell the entire supplement lineup in 2022. The third outlandish event prediction in the space is going to be that supplements become FSA, HSA approved. Well, not all of them. You can't get some type of tax deduction on those high stimulant pre workouts that you take daily. The pandemic has accelerated consumer behavior towards a more proactive approach to health and wellness. This is a major reason why supplement sales are growing at the pace that they are right now. There needs to be more like discussion around incentives to keep people healthy, and there is a growing strong case for expanding flexible spending arrangements or FSAs or health savings accounts known as HSAs to include dietary supplements. In my opinion, things like FSAs and HSAs are really a no brainer at this point to help consumers with self care expenses by expanding eligibility in tax preferred healthcare accounts. I think Congress finally notices this and makes it happen in 2022, despite more than a decade of the supplement industry trying. The next event prediction I want to talk about is the Vitamin Shop's private label explosion. Now, the Vitamin Shop has always been kind of known best as the place that sells other people's brands. While private label has long been offered by the Vitamin Shop, they have been kind of an afterthought for the specialty supplement retailer, averaging in the low 20% of total revenue. Now, this is very different than its main retail competitor, GNC, that does over 50% of its total revenue from private label brands. Over the last several years, the Vitamin Shop has overhauled much of its existing private label offerings and launched a ton of new, exciting, targeted private label brands. With the Vitamin Shop's shift in operating strategy to allowing franchising opportunities first time in company's history, it will look to incentivize these new franchisees to further shift its business towards private label brands as it will drive additional margin expansion and additional customer retention. So I predict that the private label will make up 1/3 of the Vitamin Shop's total revenue in 2022. And then the last prediction that I want to talk about is around entertainment IP licensing will go wild. The use of entertainment IP has long been underutilized in the sports and active nutrition industry. In 2016, I actually wrote an article that said licensing will be Perfect Shaker's strategy to win, but only if they secure the relationships fast enough. They need a seasoned team member that will be primed to lead this part of the company and make deals with the likes of Disney, professional and college sports leagues, Mattel, and Warner Brothers, just to name a few. They did indeed grab many more licenses, but they weren't aggressive enough, and almost every other shaker company has also grabbed countless entertainment IP licenses. Shaker companies are one thing, but sports and active nutrition brands are another thing. Yes, My Protein has done a few in the past year. G Fuel has been doing them for years. Insane Labs actually did one with Hellboy a few years ago, and Rise Supplements just did one with Godzilla. NutriBio did one with Super Steve Calabrese from Natural Body. Wait, he isn't actually a real superhero, or maybe he is, because I can't actually recall ever seeing him and any of the Marvel or DC superheroes at the same time. So now that I'm thinking about it, you never know. But everyone is having entertainment IP envy, looking at how Ghost Lifestyle collaborated with the 90s version of Space Jam. This will spark a number of sports and active nutrition brands that will secure entertainment IP licenses in 2022. But almost all of them will suck, but at least they'll try, I guess. And then one bonus prediction that I have that I'm not going to give any explanation around is that Glanbia Performance Nutrition will acquire a brand in 2022. So just kind of want to end on some final thoughts. What do you think of my outlandish event predictions in the sports and active nutrition industry for 2022? Do you have any event predictions that you think I didn't consider or hadn't considered in previous years? I'd love to hear about them by engaging with me on any of my social media accounts that are always left in the content's description. If you enjoyed this YouTube video, hit that like button to support me. Also, help me get to my short term goal of 2,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to see you join me on this journey, but we need to fix the fact that just less than 70% of you watching this right now are not subscribed to my channel, and that makes me extremely sad. But just want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.